Hi everybody, Jill here. Welcome to a Sunday vlog. If you're watching these in order as they come out, we didn't have one last week. Apologize for that. I don't know what it is. It's usually I don't have any problem enjoying the process and getting 2 out every week and editing and all of that. That's kind of, that's my goal. It's what I shoot for. But lately, it seems like 1 is all I can manage. I'm not sure why. I think I'm just on a little bit of a brain lag. Do you know what? Okay, so in my head, this is what that means. It's like something that heavy that's been on your plate for a long time, but you have been pressing through and kind of procrastinating that, and it's sitting there, and then you all of a sudden put all the energy in and you try to do it. And anyway, when that one thing falls off your plate, which is a really big thing for me, it's almost like my body, my brain, the whole thing just has to like let out this very long sigh, and it is so tired. I've been so tired, but it isn't just that. It's the fact that my little dog Loki has been wanting to get up around 4 a.m. and go outside, and he stays out there for a while. So once I'm physically up and I'm walking and, even if at that point I can barely keep my eyes open the whole time, it's almost like a done deal. I'm done. I can lay back down. Everything turns on. My back pain sort of escalates, and it reminds me, and all of the things that I sort of worry about start pouring out. Doesn't matter how tired I am. I have a heck of a time going back to sleep. And 8 times out of 10, I can't. So I have been starting my days pretty much at that first waking moment, and it seems to be around the 4 a.m. hour. Yesterday, I was so tired. It was that kind of tired that I couldn't even be upright for very long, and then I had to lay down and I would take a nap. And so I talk about that a lot. I know this has happened a few times in my vlogs, and I talk about this. Anyway, yeah. So I think the fact, and this is huge, that finally the disability thing has resolved with my husband. I have been, for those of you who may not know, trying to get that application in has been so hard for me. And I think a lot of it is me, and that I'm tapped out. So anything like that just seems very overwhelming. And so when it's very overwhelming, I put it aside. But on my defense, I did try to do this back in December, and then their website did a weird thing. And then when I tried to do it again in June, it said that they never got the application, even though it took me 6 hours to do it. Anyway, so it's been a roller coaster ride with that. Plus, it's something that's always sitting there. It's pretty big. We need to have the support of our monthly Social Security disability payments. We need to have that happen. So that's been weighing on me. But the good news is, for those of you that have been paying attention and that have been watching these and have been pouring out such wonderful support for us, finally got that application in by the wonderful person that ended up helping me on the phone through our local office. His name was Tony. I don't know his last name. He was able to figure it all out, tell me and explain to me why that part of the application, which is the main significant part, could not be seen by anybody. Anyway, we ended up getting it done and filed it. And I want to say, literally, guys, I think this might have been a record. It is done. It was within the first week. We got 2 packets that I had to fill out, and I was determined to get it done that very day and have it faxed. I went to, was it the FedEx place where they do fax stuff? And I was there at 6:30 at night faxing that out because they closed at 7. Once they received that, it was like boom, boom, boom. I want to say it just got done so fast, and we got approved so fast, and we got the money for our back pay in our account so fast. And our very first payment is going to be officially starting at the end of September. And it's done. It is absolutely done. I don't think they're going to review our case for another 7 years because my husband has something that's not going to resolve by itself or in time or anything like that. So that is huge. But the funny thing is after all of that, and after I saw that back pay in our account and everything, I just think everything just sort of went off, but then everything else just kind of like settled in. I don't know how to explain it. It's like we don't realize, well, I realize, but we don't realize truly the stress we're in until it's gone. And sometimes the effects of said stress don't get you until you're over that. And I think that's what's happening to me. Since we last talked, though, I have gone to the chiropractor a few times because I'm really trying to focus on self-care for myself. We're having a nice respite in sort of my husband's health issues, and tumbling blocks and whatnot are sort of giving us a little break. So I'm going to take that break and start going to appointments for myself. So the chiropractor is something that I have started. It's kind of hit and miss. I have adjustments where it seems remarkably, noticeably nice and a little better. My last adjustments, almost immediately, I felt worse after than I did going in. And so I'm going to let them know that in a nice, gentle way. Anyway, so this isn't really a get ready with me, I guess technically, but it's not really. I'm not going to like tell you and show you what I'm using on my face. I just kind of wanted to start the vlog here, kind of catch you up since we missed last week, you know, what's going on with us and me and kind of things that I'm thinking about. And I definitely wanted to give you an update on that Social Security situation. I want to say, what was it, guys? Like, by the time, I think it was 2 weeks. It took them 2 weeks to do all of this, which is, I think, a world record. It was, yeah. And to see that back pay in our account that fast, because sometimes, even if things are very cut and dry, you read horror stories of how they had to really, you know, it would get just postponed and for whatever reason. And so, yeah, I have no complaints other than that initial weird glitch that happened early on. And so many things were going on in our lives at that moment that I didn't have the time or mental capacity to really deal with it. So I put it on the back burner. And then, yeah, so that is huge. That is a huge, huge thing. And I am so grateful that it has been resolved, and hallelujah. But something that I have been kind of thinking about a lot lately, and it's kind of been largely because I have been so obsessed and into watching, like, mostly I think they're Korean, actually. These Korean homemaking, for lack of a better word, channels of how they go about their daily lives. And I think it's very interesting, a completely different country, and, you know, I don't know. So I've been watching a lot of those, and the ones that I watch, they're so good at trying to get better at the zero waste sort of thing. And I think for me, I'm going to have to shoot for, this is, by the way, I've been a little revisiting this concealer again. This is the True Match by L'Oreal. It is a serum. It has hyaluronic acid in it, and it makes my under eyes feel really nice. It may not give me the wonderful, fantastic coverage as my favorite concealer, which is the Lancome Idol concealer, but I just really appreciate how light it is. It has enough pigment where it gives me some brightening. So I don't know. I've been using this lately. Anyway, for me, I think my first jumping off point to making better choices, it was more ingredients, and I still am constantly improving on that. So I've always been very aware of what I use in my skincare, what I don't want to use in my skincare. And then the hair products, it's like, okay, I want to try to eliminate this, and, you know, so I've been doing that. And then slowly but surely, my kids turned me on to Grove, which is a website, and they curate products that are a little better for you. I don't think they're super on point with a lot of things, but for the most part, it's helped me choose better products for daily living. So laundry products and dish products and kitchen products and stuff. Well, that's kind of where I've been, and trying to be more cognizant of what I'm washing our clothes with and stuff like that. But where I am so in need of improvement without really, making myself feel horrible, but I definitely have not, I know, paid much attention to what our waste is when it comes to the plastics I use, the plastics, the amount of packaging that really, although you can recycle it. I always thought, if it has the little recycling on the bottom, yay. No. Much of what we recycle doesn't even make it and doesn't even actually get recycled. And so although a product may actually break down, what I have been learning through watching others and reading and just trying to educate myself a little more on this, I'm very much behind the times and behind the wave. And that's not good. I feel like our generation not only didn't catch the ball from the previous generation, and some of you may already be fantastic at this, and that's where I want to be. But I just think as a whole, our parents, I think, and their grandparents is where we need to go back to, because everything was handmade. Everything was from scratch. They, you know what I mean? They definitely reused things, and the whole plastic movement didn't happen in their generation. And then even in the beginning of our parents' generation, disposable diapers weren't a thing. They made everything by hand. If they wanted to make a cake, they did it by scratch. And, they had the Muslim bags that things and flour would come in, and whatever, flour sacks, and they would reuse flour sacks and make clothes for their kids. It wasn't until later in their generation when things like started hitting, like, oh my gosh, this is going to be so much easier, and different appliances and all the plastic movement started coming at them, and they just really were just impressed with how it saved them time and energy, and pre-made foods and cake mixes and all of this. But even then, the packaging was better than it is years later, now. And then the convenience factor really overshadowed everything. So then it was just like they used, and the waste, it was no big deal. They didn't think about where that was going. And now we have no excuse, because we do know. And so we, as our generation, we really didn't catch that ball. We just kept on rolling with it. And it really wasn't until our kids' generation, that may now be in their 30s or 20s, where they started really thinking about these things. And then different environmental movements and stuff happened. But still, it's a smaller percentage. And I think it's through my children's children where they're really going to have to do some major cleanup from all of us and what we've done and the damage we've done. Nonetheless, I know I'm slow on this bandwagon. But ideally, what I want to shoot for is kind of that 80-20 when it comes to the zero waste. I'm thinking if I can only produce 20% of that waste, I think that is feasible and totally doable, but it's going to be really hard. Because right now, I'm not even at, I'm not even close to that right now. I'm more at the 80%. And even, I'm producing 80% of the waste right now, I do think, when it comes to the plastics and all of that stuff that's supposed to be recyclable. But if it does break down, it's leaching bad stuff into our environment and our water and our soil. And anyway, it's kind of one of those things, the more you learn, the more you're like, wow, ignorance is bliss until you decide, I need to take my small amount of responsibility of this. And so, yes, I am, again, very late on that bandwagon, but better late than never, right? I do think better late than never. So I might go to Barnes & Noble today. I want to get a book or two on the 80-20 rule. The thing is, and I saw this in, how like if you go on Amazon and you look at books, you can sometimes get a peek inside and read maybe the first chapter or a few pages of the first chapter. And this really resonated with me in that if millions of people would shoot for the 80-20 rather than the very small 1 or 2% that shoot for zero waste and get there, our planet would be in a much better place. And yes, it is the big, huge manufacturing people that are producing all of this that need to change to make the big impact. But if millions of people could really get to the 80-20, that would be a huge, huge thing. So to me, it was always very intimidating, very overwhelming, and I just would forget it, not even want to go there, thinking about the zero waste. I just think that is so hard in this day and age. You can do it, and there is a small percentage of the population, a very small percentage of the population that do it. But for the rest of us, it's a really hard target. And so then it becomes where it gets so overwhelming you don't even want to try. So I really like the idea of the 80-20, and it's a process. It's not going to happen overnight. But a little later in this video, I'm going to show you kind of my first steps in where I want to focus on in my house and where I feel like I'm failing the most. And that's where I want to start. I feel like I have a bigger responsibility than many out there because my husband's on dialysis every night, and the amount of unrecyclable plastic and waste that we make for that is huge. I mean, huge. And it isn't the kind of plastic that will break down. It's like medical grade plastic. It's heavy duty stuff and tubing, but it's not fluid waste. It's not anything like that, because otherwise we would not be able to just send it to the dump. It's not even recyclable though. And that's the sad thing, is that I can't take it to that I know of. If we weren't instructed to do that, which shame on them if we were able to do that. But again, so much of our recycling that we're trying to do isn't even getting properly recycled anymore. And when it does get recycled, again, the byproduct of that recycling, a large amount of it is detrimental to the environment anyway. But we produce so much of that because of the dialysis. And when you look at the hundreds of thousands of people that are also on at-home dialysis, or even if they even go to dialysis centers, they still have the same waste issue. So I feel like, well, we can't cut down on that. It's keeping my husband alive. So, we can't cut down on that. But I do feel like I have even a bigger responsibility than to do our share where we can. And so even though I say 80-20, even if I get 20, I still feel like that 20 is pretty much what his dialysis is creating. But I'm still going to try my best to do what we can. And I think if all of us can do what we can, then that's where we need to be. All right. So guys, I'm going to see you a little bit further down the way in this video. I always put a lip treatment on right when I get out of the shower and I do my skincare. I put some lip treatment, and just to, keep my lips soft. But I always have to wipe it off before I do anything at all to my lips. I'm going to go into this color here. And I have been just enjoying contouring my lips and then just using, not lining them with a lip liner, and then just using like a lipstick. And that's what I've been doing lately. I know, it's like, Jill, you're probably just going to clean your house. Why are you putting your lip gloss and stuff on? Because I just want to, look done and all that. Yes, guys, I do contour usually just for the daily look. I know, but I do. It honestly doesn't take long, and I don't know. Plus, I enjoy doing it, so I guess if you don't enjoy it, then don't do it. That would make sense, right? Okay, I do want to say something, is that I I have a lot of you ask, Jill, do you do filters? Do you put filters on your videos, or do you put filters on the pictures that you put on Instagram and stuff like that? I do not use filters. I don't care if you don't believe me. I don't use filters. I don't use filters when I edit or, put any of my videos out. I really, really don't. I know that Instagram will automatically put a filter. I didn't know that, but I don't do anything over Instagram anyway that I will just automatically post onto I don't care if it's what it is, if it's a reel, if it's a story, they always get edited through my own software. And when I edit I'll splice and I'll take stuff out and make it shorter. So I don't use filters, first off. Now, good lighting, that's a big deal. That is absolutely a good lighting. You're gonna see me at my best. I still want to get better with my lighting so it's more consistent, because I've noticed it's a struggle. Lighting has been the hardest thing for me to tackle because it's all over the place. Even in one video, it can be all over the place. So I want to get better at that. But absolutely, you sit in good lighting, you're gonna look much nicer. But you have seen me all over the place on this channel. I will record in my bathroom where the lighting creates the most unnatural, gross hollows. It makes me look absolutely horrific. But you've seen me record in there, and I don't care really when it comes to that. It's not that I'm afraid to put my worst face forward. You've seen me in all ways. So just so you know, I don't use filters. Lighting, yes, and I will tweak the lighting in editing if I need to. And that's more because it's creating a really weird look or whatever. So I just want to let you know about that. And then the other thing, hold on, The other question that I get a lot is, have you had any work done to your face? Do you use BOTOX, fillers? Have you had any whatever? And no, I have not. Never say never. I don't have any issues with that. But I don't. I have never had Botox and I've never had fillers, and I think it's pretty evident that I haven't. So whenever I get asked that question, I actually feel like that is kind of a nice compliment. And I'm never shy about letting you know. And if I ever do, you'll be the first to know, I will definitely keep you posted about that for sure. But so far, I haven't had the desire to do it. Honestly, I think if I were to ever do something, it would probably be just a really soft sort of neck lift, maybe a little bit of facelift. So it would be a major thing. If I ever had the money or something to do something like that, to be honest, it would go toward more of a boob lift and a tummy tuck. That is my biggest wish list. And I feel like I'm running out of time with that. I'm getting to the age where the doctors might even say, yeah, no, you've lived with it this long. But that's been my main thing. So no Botox, no fillers. I haven't had anything done at all. And thank you for those of you who think I have, but I have not. But if I do, I'm not all about secrets. I will let you know. Even if I'm thinking about it and researching it, I'll let you know. For those of you also that have been so kind to want to know how my blood pressure is doing, I started taking I'll put the name of it up here, not that it matters, but she put me on that at 25 milligrams. So I started taking that, and it immediately, worked. But it also started tanking, kind of getting a little too low. I haven't taken it yet today because I think that also might have something to do with why I am also just like, when I get up, I'm just like, oh God, I just don't feel great. And because it was like 105 over 54, 107 over 56, pulse of 60, pulse of 56. And so it just got too low. So it's been 4 days now. This would be the fourth day that I stopped taking it. I asked my daughter, who's a PA, because my doctor / nurse practitioner is not in the office on Fridays. So it happened to be Thursday night, I believe, when I reached out, because it was low and I definitely didn't feel well. So my daughter said, yeah, just, it's not one of those that you have to taper off. So go ahead and don't take it tomorrow. Well, I haven't had to go back and take it. So I need to call because I do have a follow-up appointment, but not until next month. So I do want to call today. There's something else I need to do today is I do need to call and let her know that I did that and if it's okay. And this is what my blood pressure has been because she's been wanting me to record it. And I think I'm going to go. I feel like I need just a little something else. So I'm going to go into this one here. So I need to let her know. And then she might say, yes, don't take it until your readings get here. Or let's just half it. Continue to take it, but we'll just do half. Right now, I don't think I need to take anything because I think it's a little too low. Oh yeah, that's pretty. I do have a cream blush on and I like to set it a little bit with a powder, so I'm going to go in with the Catrice. This is one of my all-time favorite blushes. It's an oil-infused blush. It only comes in this one color, but it's really, really pretty. So I'm going to just kind of set that cream blush a little, very light hand, just really feathering it on. I'm going to bring it a little over my nose as well. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and shut this off for now. I'm going to go get a new topper on. And again, you guys will see it, but if you're interested in the entire topper chat about it, then be on the lookout for that video. You'll probably see it. If not, probably not the following. What is today's Sunday? You guys are watching this. So you may see it this coming up next week, but be on the lookout for that because I'll shoot to have it done either then or the following week. Okay, so I'll see you guys and we'll be doing something else. So I'll see you soon.
drive straight as an arrow flies. Nowhere to be, no dreams to chase tonight. We've got time to waste, let's waste it right. You and I, heads up in the clouds. We caught up with the birds flying south. Nothing to see as the day turns into night. We've got time to waste, let's waste it right. We got time to waste,
I'm so sorry about the loud AC going on in the background. I'll lower it as soon as it cools down in here. So I'm on my way to the pet store. I didn't want to have to go. I'm gonna be honest with you though, it feels good to get out of the house. However, it usually takes a push for me to do it, you know? Anyway, okay, I'm at the pet store. You guys should know this place by now, right? This is where we go a lot. Okay, I will be back. Yes, I did pop in a piece of gum. And that's because I had just drank coffee and I did brush my teeth before we left, and I didn't want to have icky breath going in the pet store. So I'm thinking about going to HOMEGOODS. I want to see what they have, you know, kind of their fall stuff. I can't spend too much time in there because 2 things are frozen that I got from the pet store, so I don't want that to thaw out. Usually I enjoy my time the most when I go to HOMEGOODS when I have something very specific that I'm looking for. But I definitely don't have anything specific that I'm looking for. All right, and we are parking. So let's go check out what HOMEGOODS has. I'm sure there's a ton of fall stuff there right now.
Hi guys, so I thought we would end this vlog with, I'm dying to try out these bamboo eye makeup removers. And so I think what I'm gonna do first, so perhaps I can use less product because I feel like these would really absorb product, is I'm gonna get them damp and wring them out really well, and then I'll put the product on. You know, I usually use like 4 of the other ones that I use, the 2x2s, which by the way, I have used throughout my career as an esthetician, and you know, they just were my go-to, but hey, it's never too late, you know? So this is what I've been using to take off my eye makeup. Bioderma, and look at this huge plastic bottle. And this is my second one that I've gone through. It's never ending, isn't it? I know. Okay, so let's do this. Ooh. It feels really good. They're definitely nice and big because my little 2x2s are literally 2 inches by 2 inches. And these are nice and big. I'm gonna see if I can get away with using one for both eyes. So I kind of sit there on my lashes. Get away with just one. They work great. So then you can just hand wash these or throw them in that little bag that it came with and toss it in your washing machine. I don't know yet what I'm gonna do. I might just, I don't know, we'll see. And I'll follow up with you on how well they wash and all of that too. So now I'm gonna continue on washing my face, and I usually get my brows off when I do that. I do kind of want to follow up with you guys about this though. Do you remember in one of the vlogs I went and took you guys with me to Sephora, and I left with this, and it is a balm. I'm really liking it a lot. I'm enjoying this quite a bit. I do wish that it came with its own little spatula, but I have a ton of them. They're just packed somewhere. But in the meantime, I'm using the one that came with my Tatcha moisturizer, and I use quite a bit of this. So I'm just gonna end this video. I just wanted to let you know that so far I really love this stuff. And I wanted to follow up about it. So I'm going to end this video with me washing my face. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys very soon in my next video.